Droid.
Oh, it's great.
Droid. It's the Motorola Droid.
And it's Verizon, right?
Yeah, Motorola Droid is a copyright of Lucasfilms Limited. All rights reserved. Used by permission.
Okay.
It is Verizon. It is the best screen I have ever seen on a smartphone. Better, higher resolution, better looking screen than on the iPhone easily. It is a 3.7-inch display, which is roughly the same size as the iPhone display. I mean, it's not. I wouldn't say it's much bigger. Let me see. It might be like a few millimeters taller, and about the same width as the iPhone.
It's the one on
screen.
the right, right?
Yeah. Well, you can see how close they are.
Yeah, it's a touch.
Yeah, I'm showing it for those of you watching at home. You can see I'm showing it at home. Yeah, it's a touch screen. It's capacitance touch, just like the iPhone. But the resolution's higher. It's 854 by 480. Now it's running Google's Android operating system, hence the name Droid, made by Motorola. First of all, let me just tell you the feel in your first impression is the feel in the hand feels very solid. It's made of metal. It's about 6 ounces heavier than the iPhone, so it feels a little bit heavier, but it feels more solid. The edges are square. It's more industrial, and look what happens when you slide it up. I think this is so cool. You get a keyboard,
full regular QWERTY keyboard,
and you can. This is a cursor control on the right here with a click, so it's almost got like a little mouse as well as a QWERTY keyboard.
Oh, nice.
Negative on the keyboard. The keys are slightly domed, but not enough to really know which key you're on. So I mistype a lot with my fat, pudgy old fingers. It's not as good a keyboard as the BlackBerry or even as the Palm Pre, but it is a full keyboard, and if that's something you need, this phone will do it. Now I have to say, this is running the latest version of the Android operating system, 2.0, and Android, ever since 1.6, has had an on-screen keyboard that's quite competent. My sister Eva bought the Eris, which is very similar to this, except it doesn't have the keyboard, and she's very happy with it. Now, this is Android software 2.0. It's running a very fast processor. It's running a Cortex processor, which is an ARM-based, and as a result, it's extremely. The A8 is extremely speedy, and you don't feel any lag. It has a 16 gigabyte SD card in there. That's where your storage is. You can put a 32 gig in there as well. It has a competent music player. The Android marketplace is not as diverse or as big as the iPhone marketplace. 12,000 apps compared to over 100,000 on the iPhone. But there are good apps for most of the things you want to do. Including a number of Twitter apps. Facebook has an official Facebook app for it, which is identical to the Facebook app on the iPhone. It works very well. The camera on it is a 5-megapixel autofocus camera with an LED flash, which does make it, on paper, better than the iPhone's camera. I found, however, quality-wise, it doesn't look better than the iPhone. In fact, it has a tendency to flare, and colors are not very accurate. I think the iPhone camera might be a better camera. This multitasks as well, and has the same problem the Pre did, which is it's possible to get a lot of things running at once and have them running in the background and not even know it. Drain the battery, use up all your memory. In fact, one of the first things I did on here is I put on a task killing program, which lets you know all the apps. Look at these are all the apps that are running in the background right now. There's like 20 of them. Almost everything I've launched. That Facebook app's still running. Foursquare, I started that this morning running. Google Voice. So you can press this button and kill all the open apps. This is nice. You can put icons. You have 3 desktops. I wish you had more, but you have 3 desktops. You could put application icons, widgets, or you could put contact information on here. So I can tap Dane's contact information. I can call him. I can text him. I can email him. I even have his Facebook profile here. It does sync up with Facebook very nicely so that you're able to get contact information out of your friends' Facebook accounts. That's a really great way to keep your contact lists up to date. The notification panel, which is unique to Droid, actually it's kind of similar to the Palm Pre's. You pull it down from the top, it'll show you any messages received, incoming email, incoming phone calls. That's kind of a handy thing, and then you can just slide it back off the screen. No pinch on this. The only touch is single finger, slide up and down, back and forth, or tap. They decided not to put pinch on it. Got the good Google Maps. In fact, one of the things people paid a lot of attention to early on is the Google Maps in here has spoken turn-by-turn directions. So you can use this as a true GPS device. And what's really cool is when you arrive at your destination, it will put up Street View and show you the house. You get a day's worth of battery life with any normal use. Yeah, and I use GPS, I use Bluetooth, I use Wi-Fi. It has all of those. If you're careful about killing apps that are, there are some apps that use a lot of juice. You make sure that you exit them. Easily get a day, no problem. Same. One thing it has that the iPhone doesn't have, which I really like, is you can see which applications are using the most juice. So you can see which ones are the most costly in terms of the amount of power they're using. I think that's a really nice feature. I think people who are on Verizon will like this because it uses the Verizon network. You don't have to switch to AT&T, and if you want to stay with Verizon, this is easily the best smartphone. Well, this and the Aris, the successor to the little brother of this, are very, very good choices, I think, for smartphones. There's a good selection of applications, though. Very good browser, very similar to Safari, very competent. You can't do the pinch zoom, but you can tap and zoom in, which is nice. And I should show you this. This is kind of neat. This is like the Google Voice app on the iPhone as well, but it's right on the front page. You have a Google search button, which I can press and I can speak into. The Daily Gizwiz, and then it'll do speech recognition and do a Google search, and it searches both your phone and the internet. And local stuff too, and so there it is, the Daily Gizwiz.
Wow!
It went right there in Google. So there's a lot. I think there's a lot to be said for this. I think it's a very usable phone. It works very well with the speech recognition in the Ford Sync. It's a great, I think, a very competent smartphone. And I'll be honest with you. I've used it for the last week instead of the iPhone, and I really didn't miss the iPhone. This feels pretty darn good. When you turn it on, you get the Eye of Sauron.
Really?
From Lord of the Rings. I mean, they're really, I don't know why. I guess they're aiming it at this like super geeky audience. Let me power it down. I'll show you. I mean, it's just the strangest thing. And it says droid, although you can change that. But here you've got this great one that's automatic that comes. Here it is. There's the Eye of Sauron. Isn't that creepy?
It is.
Why would you
do
that?
I'm looking at you. I'm looking to see if it's my real owner before I turn on.
Who are you? Why are you looking at me? Oh, I didn't show you the best part. You can watch us on it. Did I mention that?
No.
That's the main reason I got a Droid, is because I needed an Android phone, because Mediafly, who's doing our Roku integration and all the other integration, has made a TWiT application for the iPhone. And soon you'll be able to watch our streaming video, as well as shows that we've already done pre-recorded right on the phone. And let me tell you, with this WVGA screen, they look really, really good. I mean, the quality is,
wow.
I mean, it's as good as a TV set. It's fantastic. So that's another reason I had to have this. I mean, we're on it.
Nice. A replaceable battery?
Yes. In fact, that's one thing. You can
have a standby battery with you.
Oh, absolutely. In fact, it's one thing that I know Robert Scoble didn't like. He said his battery case lid kept falling off. Mine's come off a couple of times, but it's pretty solidly in there. And it's a big battery. I think that's one of the reasons you get all that life. And then the SD card is right here next to the battery. Again, it comes with a 16, but you could put a 32. I'll probably put a 32 in here. Anyway, $200 with rebate. Make sure you get the rebate. Shop around too, because places like Best Buy, I think, have better deals. A very, very competent, I think, first Android phone from Motorola and from Verizon. Well done. Well done, friends. Okay.